Mahmud, who is the National President of National Association of Pepper Producers and Processors of Nigeria, to talk more on economic value of pepper. You're welcome to Nationwide.
Thank you very much.
Nigeria is said to account for about 50% of pepper production in Africa.
Exactly.
That is quite huge here. And can you give us a breakdown on the value chain of it to the economy?
Well, the value chain, the participants in value chain in pepper starts from the farmer through the logistics, warehousing, delivery, dealers, marketers, up to the consumer at home.
Okay.
So it's a very, very long and wide chain, as well as with a lot of derivatives based on that.
Okay.
If we just take, for example, in the farm alone, you are talking of the farmer himself, the tractor driver, so many things there that goes in there. So it's really, really a very big and wide place for us to be able to get more people in it as well as make money out of it.
It's so wide, you said, and its economic values and contribution to Nigeria's foreign exchange cannot be overemphasized. How big is it?
Sincerely, it could take up to 20% of the GDP if it harnessed well. Because there are some countries, just very few countries like Vietnam, Brazil and what have you, they are concentrating on pepper production as one of the major key economic factors in their GDP enhancement. In Nigeria, as of now, we are not there, but definitely by the time that the government continued with what it has started, we are hoping, inshallah, we'll get there.
I love pepper a lot, and I'm sure you do. Nigerians will love pepper, you know. It's like eating it and sweating. So how can this potential in this field, if harnessed and enhanced, what can it do for this country? Definitely,
we have to look at what are the hindrances that has made us not to reach where we want to be. One of them is high cost of farm inputs, which is not only limited to only pepper, but in particular in pepper it is specific. We have poor access to credits by the farmers. We have inefficient fertilizer production and supply. We have issues about inadequate storage or post-production loss, which is very, very big with pepper, much more than many other products. Mean that at the end of the day, after production from the farm, you will find that maybe only 20% get to the market. Almost 80% get rotten along the way. So those are part of the things that we are hoping and thinking that hopefully, inshallah, with the association, we'll be able to bring in our farmers to see how we can bring in new method whereby for the preservation as well as the use of the discarded parts of the material for other things. Being that it's not only for food, but it is also a very important element in pharmaceuticals, in defense industry, and so many other things.
Also here, tear gas?
Precisely, and even the pepper spray that now every woman carries along with.
Okay, you've talked about the challenges.
Yes.
There's one huge challenge that keeps coming to mind when you talk about farming, you know, and farmers. It's the middleman. Well, how do we do away with it?
That is exactly one of the assignments that was really specifically mentioned by the Permanent Secretary this afternoon, that we should, as an association, try as much as possible to see how we're going to block the issue of the farm gate purchase. The only way you can do that is when you have enough warehousing and formal, what will I say, off-taking. That is the only way you can do away with middlemen.
Yes.
Without that, definitely it's not going to go.
So which states across the country produce this kind of pepper in large quantity? I know of Gombe, Borno, you know, I can go on and on.
I can give you more than 23 states that every one of them is a very key producer. Yes. But there are some even states that they are not big producers, but they are very important. Like the Abakaleke breed of Atarugu, as they call it, Atarudu. It is so precious and costly that it is one of the few of the varieties that we are having now being exported out of this country.
So how can we take advantage of the African Free Trade Agreement now?
The issue is we have to bring up our farmers to be able to reach that level of GAP, that is Global Agricultural Practice, Global Agricultural Practice gap, whereby all farms have to be certified, so that whatever is coming out of the farm is certified and it can be accepted in any market in the world. That entails that it means we have to go back to extension,
basis, yes.
training, seminars, and what have you, which obviously in the private sector we can try, but definitely we are not. But the government has to come in and increase on what it is doing.
I'm sure the federal government's policy on agriculture will come into play here. Engineer Mahmud, who is the National President of National Association of Pepper Producers and Processors of Nigeria, thank you so much for your input on Nationwide.
I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
Okay.